guys, what is up? So today we are doing something really awesome. It's going to be a pathway as you walk on the ground. So now this is pretty complicated as you see here. A lot of redstoning going on, so I'm going to leave you guys a schematic. But one thing to note, you are going to have to change a couple of commands yourself manually, depending on your situation, but we will get to that when we kind of show you guys how that works. So first of all, let's just get our toggle pathway here. And as you see up in the top right, you can see pathway toggled and no. So as soon as we throw the snowball, the pathway is going to be toggled. So you see it changes to yes. If you hit it yes, it changes to no. And I set it up so it won't break if you spam it. But anyway, let's get it back on yes. And now you notice our pathway isn't being created because we are looking down. But if we kind of tilt our head up, let's kind of come into F5 here. Once we get to a certain height, you see a pathway is starting to be generated. And as we walk, the pathway is just generated with us. But like I said, if you look down too far, then you won't see it. Because I set this up to where the pathway will not be created if you're looking down at a certain angle. Just for if you're like trying to go down or something. Because if you do jump while you're doing this, and it's going to just come up with you. So you can just look down to get back down. So yeah, but that's really not all. It can do a lot more than just going straight. So let's come back here and start walking. And as you see, as we start turning here, the pathway starts turning with us. And it's coming diagonally now. Let's kind of get over this way. And one thing that I want to note, you can't really take very sharp turns because you see it looks pretty ugly if you try and take too sharp of a turn. So you can do it works pretty good, but just don't take too sharp turns because that can look really ugly. But yeah, as you see, the pathway is just twisting and turning and curving into whichever direction I am looking at. So basically the pathway is just being created as I walk. Just gotta make sure not to look too far down or it will stop. So yeah, that's how this works, guys. It's really cool. Let me kind of show you guys how this works here. So let's toggle it. And as you see now, let's toggle no, the pathway is no longer being created. And as soon as we toggle it yes again, oh, there we go. And the pathway is it's being generated again. Let's toggle it off. So if you can't really guess what's happening, this is using 1.8 things, the the execute command. We're executing stuff relative to a player. So, like I said, huge chunk of redstone here, pretty hard to understand. But let's just get to the first of all, the toggle command, which I just created by saying scoreboard objectives add pt dummy, called pathway toggled, as you see right there. It's just a dummy command, so it's not changed by anything. But I'm also adding a command called stat.useItem332, which is a snowball, called toggle pathway tp. And then it's just going to set the sidebar display to PT, so pathway toggled. So let's go over how it works. So this is, I'm not sure if this is the fastest clock in the game. As far as I know it is, but whenever I say that this is the fastest clock in the game, people always leave me comments like, no, that is not. There's a faster clock, one that goes 2 million times a second and crashes your computer instantly. But like, I don't know, so this is just, I think it's 20 times a second clock. Set block underneath it to air, or redstone block destroy, and set the block above it to air. So you can't actually see anything even though it is running insanely fast. So it's just constantly testing this command. Test for at all score of TP, minimum of 1. So TP is just our, like testing if the player's throwing a snowball. So if we come here and paste this, see it's at 0, and as soon as we throw a snowball it goes to 1. And then you just saw some stuff, and that just toggled it on. And I just blew up my redstone. That is pretty terrible. But it's okay, I have it saved, but basically what it's doing, it just would set the pathway back to, oh gosh, I need to turn this off. That's bad. Okay, let me fix this really quick and get back to you guys. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that, guys. So what these commands are doing, the first one over here is just setting the score of TP back to 0. If you don't know what TP is, let me just copy this command here and put it back in here really quick. Basically, it's the command right here for stat.using the snowball. So if we come here and do that, you see every time we throw it down, it gets to 1 really quick, and then it jumps back to 0 because of the redstone we have set up. So let's come back here really quick. No, I don't want that to happen again, so let's just make sure we're looking down. And let's set this back to PT. And okay, it's not toggled, so we don't have to worry about that. But then this one right here, what's this doing? It's setting the block relative up 1 over 2 right here, basically to an unpowered comparator. This way, if you throw like about 1 billion snowballs, it will never get jammed. This is really important. So, I mean, it's not too big of a deal if you're not spamming the snowballs, but it's just a little bit of extra safety. And this one right here is setting the block relative to a redstone block, and the relativity is right up there. So it looks like I forgot to copy these two command blocks, so let me put them back in there really quick and get back to you guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. And so what this is doing here, let's just come here and restart it a little just to make sure it's all working. What this is doing, when it puts the redstone block up here, so every time you throw a snowball, what it's going to do, first of all, it's just going to set the block relative to it up 1, back to air. So it's setting this guy back to air, and then it's setting the redstone wire right here to 0 with the destroy. So you'll see, it'll get erased and destroyed like that. Pathway's toggled, better be careful. Okay, it's off. So as you see, every time you toggle, it'll turn on or off. Like that. Okay, now what happens when it gets toggled, you see, this is one of these fancy redstone things. I really don't know what it's called. But basically every time it gets powered, it'll switch from here to here. So it'll turn off when it's right there, it's on. When you press it again, you see it switches to the other one, and now it's turned off. So that's just one way or the other. Right, okay. So when it's not toggled, what it's going to do, it's going to run this line of redstone. First thing it's going to do, it's going to reset all players' scores, and the star is a new thing in 1.8. Basically says any players who aren't online, and in this case it's going to be the yes, because the player yes isn't online actually, so it just resets their score of PT. And it's doing the same thing over here, except it's since it's a star, it'll reset the score of no, because the player no isn't online. And then it does this. Then this is where it sets the score of no to PT to 1. So yes got reset, and then it changed it to no. And over here, yes got or no got reset, and it changed it to no got reset, and it changed it to yes. There we go. Okay, now what these other guys are doing, this one is setting the block relative 6 to 3 3 to a redstone block. So it's 6 this way, 3 this way, and then up 3. So it's setting it right here to a redstone block. Now what this is going to do, basically, so this is another super fast redstone clock, and what happens, it just sets the block up here to a redstone block, and then another one over here, it just sets it back to air. So it's going to just do like that, and then do it like that. So that's going to stop the clock. So that's no, so that way the clock isn't running. And when it's yes over here, all it's doing is just setting the block right here in between to a redstone block, so it's turning it back on. So yeah, that's how that all works. And you know, as you see, oh boy, I almost broke my redstone there. I did not. That is good. Okay. Oh, I forgot to fix the one where fix the redstone right here, guys. So you see, all this redstone is really important. So let's just come here really quick and put this right here. Okay. that will just kind of hold us down temporarily. And this is yep. So we're gonna have to do /scoreboard players set at A, and it's TP 0. Okay. So let's see if that fixes it, and there we go, it fixed it. Oh boy. So yeah, sorry this is going so kind of hectic, guys. It is pretty weird redstoning. So either way, I'll leave you guys the schematics. You guys can kind of deal with it yourself. I might have broken something there, but either way, I'm just going to leave it on now. Explain to you guys what's going on. So what's going on is basically just saying what it's going to do. It's going to execute all the players whose rotation, or I'll start right here, whose rotation is in between 169 and -169. So that's this little tiny gap between, like, it's a little bit this way, so like right over here, and then a little bit this way, so right over here. So it's going to say if you're in that little rotational area, then just do it straight. And then it just keeps doing the same thing, like, so if you're in this little rotational area here, then do it like diagonally. Then if you're in this little rotation area over here, then do it like slanted. And it just keeps doing that for the whole 360 degrees and everything. If you guys want to check out the commands, I will show you that. So yeah, you can see it's just cloning the blocks from right here. It's cloning the blocks over here, and it's just placing them wherever I'm at. So if you want to change what the pathway looks like, you would just change the blocks over here. So let me kind of give you guys an example. Let's say I want to make the middle like white stained clay. So I'll just come here and do this, and as you see, now it's constantly setting it to white stained clay wherever I'm at. So yeah, that's how you kind of change these if you want, but you know, like I said, the other ones are interfering with it. So you just gotta kind of make sure that they all blend in good with each other. But yeah, that's how you change the pathways. So this is all good and everything. I don't really want to explain to you guys. I go too deep into detail. Just make sure you also have to make sure you have masked at the end. That way it'll not copy all the air. And yeah, so this is just also, this is where it's copying the block relative to you. So if you set 0, 0, then it would be right at the corner, so it wouldn't work properly. So you have to make sure that's set in the right area too. So you see I'm in the back of the block because I set it as I did such. And this is just for all the different rotations, and it'll copy and paste all the different blocks. So luckily for you guys, I'm going to include a schematic so you guys can just copy and paste it into your world. And you only have to do one thing, and that is to set each of these coordinates to the correct block. So it's pretty straightforward. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the same thing up there. And then this is block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, block 6, block 7, and block 8. So you just have to go and do the chords yourself, because since it's an execute command, it doesn't work relative to the command block. So I actually, if you look here, I use the absolute chords right here from the one corner to the other corner of the block, and you're going to have to do the same thing for each individual block. But do not worry guys, I'll put like signs with numbers on them so you guys know which block goes to which one. So I'll leave that for you guys to download. But yeah, that's how this works guys, the automatic path. It is a really tough concept, not entirely sure where it's useful though, but I don't know, if you just want to have players run around and make paths, or you're doing a map or something. But like I said, you can mess around with this. So I'll make sure to include a schematic for you guys. If you're having any trouble changing the coordinates, just leave a comment or something, and I'll just kind of see if I can help you with that. But yeah, so that's how this all works guys. Thank you so much for watching. Just make sure to subscribe to see more of my stuff as it comes out. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And that's all I really got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys later.